Tonight, as we lead you down the sports path, we have White Bear Lake Boys Lacrosse March during their state tournament run.
And after that, we see if Mahtomedi baseball coach John Hargrove can lead the Zephyrs to their own state tournament appearance and possibly beyond.
North St. Paul can advance on to state in their section.
Hello and welcome to the final episode of Sports Path for the 2014-2015 school year. We've got a great show for you, action-packed. I, of course, am Sam Erickson, joined alongside my partner, Michael Lawrence.
Before we call it a wrap, we have a lot of postseason highlights to get to tonight and check out to see who is advancing and checking to see out who's going early for their summer vacation.
Like I said, we got a fully packed show, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to take a look at baseball sections to start things off. Here's Section 4-3A. Most of our representatives were in this one. Mahtomedi, the number 1 seed, North, the number 2 seed, the major players, and they both easily win their first game of the winner's bracket. This is a double elimination tournament, so 2 losses and you're out, but Mahtomedi won their next game. North lost their next game, so they are not done, but Mahtomedi will advance to play Eastridge in that winner's bracket. And in that winner's bracket, Mahtomedi edged Eastridge 5-3. That game was played on the 30th of May, and we may or may not have highlights for you of that one.
Looks like we do now. We head straight down I-35 to St. Paul to CHS Field, where we see Mahtomedi face off against Eastridge in some sectional action. CHS is a brand new, meaning it just opened up this spring. Hardly any sunflower seeds in those dugouts. And there's Zephyr head coach John Hargrove checking out his ball club before the game. Starting off for the Raptors, Travis McDonald drives the ball towards third base. Who gets the easy out at first? Next up, Sam Cobbs makes almost identical hit, and it has the same result. And now Carl Kellner at bat makes the same hit yet again, but this time the runner will be safe due to a short throw. And now it's time for Dylan Blake at the plate. He pops it right into no man's land, and he gets the default. And from first, Kellner races around to home plate and beats the bad throw. Blake will make it to second. Eastridge takes an early 1-0 lead, and that will get the crowd going. Trying to add to the lead, Kyle Orowski can't get it done as he goes down, lucky in the Raptors and the top of the first with the 1-0 lead. Kellner taking the mound for Eastridge. And Zach Taylor, first up for the Zephyrs, hits a line drive towards first. Eastridge can't finish the play, and Taylor will be safe. Sam Mustar at the plate, he gets beamed, and he will take his base and advance Taylor to second. Next, Trevor Moses places it just outside the outreach arms of the shortstop for a single. And now with bases loaded, Sean Noel launches it to center field, and it has room to roll in this new field. It's semi-professional here, folks. It has tons of room to roll to make a triple. And in comes Taylor, Mustar, and Moses to put the Zephyrs on top 3-1 in the bottom of the first. And it'll be a tough time for Kellner on the mound, but he shows some moxie here, striking out the next 3 batters. And number 3 coming up here pretty soon, and it goes right there. Zephyrs still have the 3-1 lead after 1 inning. Moving to the top of the 5th, the Raptors are looking to close the gap center. Carter Stower drives into center field for a stand-up double, and that ball just has a ton of room to roam. And with a runner in scoring position, McDonald lays down a bunt, and he will just edge out the Zephyr infielder at first. But they struggle to hang on to the ball, and substitute runner Alec McCabe slides into homecoming. Mahtomedi's lead 3-2. Cobb hits a grounder towards third base. The infielder barely gets control and is able to get the out. And then Kellner at bat hits it to the shortstop, who hesitates due to the runner and can't get the out at first. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Orowski hits it straight down the third base line, and he gets 1 RBI with 1 runner scoring for the Raptors. But Kellner gets a little greedy and tries to get third, but heads up play by the catcher, getting the out. Tied 3-3 in between innings. Mustar at the plate for the Zephyrs. He gets a single. He grounds at second base. Next up, Moses pops it up for the easy catch for the right fielder. Noel then goes straight up the middle, and he'll get on base. And now it's Stone's turn. He hits a grounder into the outfield, and he'll get the single. And now runners are on first and second. Up comes John Peterson. He finds a gap in the outfield. Coach Hargrove singles in the substitute runner Danny Larson for the Zephyrs to retake the lead at 4-3. Thomas Polson hits towards the shortstop, and he makes the easy play to end the inning. And now moving on to the bottom of the 6th. Taylor pops it up to the center field, who makes the grab in spite of slipping, but Noel tags up to third. But a horrible throw by the cutoff man makes Noel race towards home to add another run to their lead. But that was all the scoring in this one as Montemeade High wins 5-3 over East Ridge. You see they would move on to the championship, where they would feast East Ridge yet again, since East Ridge won in the losers bracket, and Montemeade High came out top of that one, winning 7-6 with 9 innings. And they are your section champion.
And with that section championship, that means they were in the Class 3A state baseball tournament. You see, they got the number 3 overall seed and took on Robbinsdale Armstrong in the opening round. Unfortunately, lost that one 2-1. So their chance at a state title was done. They were able to play in the consolation bracket, but no state tournament title for the Zephyrs, but a great year nonetheless, making it to that state tournament. So Coach Hargrave, got to be proud of that, and good year. Congrats to those boys.
Always a good year winning the conference championship. Coming up after the break, can the White Bear Lake boys bring home the state title after dominating the Suburban East Conference? And then we check out to see how the Forest softball team did in their section. Stay tuned.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Oh, hello there. And we're always looking for volunteers to work behind the scenes here at TV19. Whether it be running a camera, operating graphics, or even instant replay, you will love the fast-paced environment that is live television production, we promise you. If you have any interest in it, call Arlen Becker at 651-747-3821, or feel free to email Arlen at arlen@onlocationtv.org. Boy, that's a mouthful.
Oh, for sure, and always great for a resume builder.
Absolutely. And welcome back. While the Zephyrs were unable to complete their state tournament title, they did make it to the state tournament. So we're going to see if the North Polar softball team can punch their ticket as well.
And now we're going to take a look at the Section 4 3A brackets. Tartan would lose to Stillwater 1-0. North facing East Ridge winning 9-2, and then Hill Murray facing Roseville, they lose 4-1. And then moving on in the winners bracket, Woodbury beating Stillwater 3-0, and Roseville losing to North 3-1, and that means North facing Woodbury in that in this one 4-3, and this game goes on in 11 innings.
We'll have those highlights for you. This one played at North St. Paul McKnight Field, but you saw Woodbury with the 1 seed, so they will be the home team. Bottom of the 7th inning. That's right, bottom of the 7th inning, tied 3-3. Ryan Crotty nearly picked off, but she gets back safe. Score will remain tied until we're here in the bottom of the 9th. You saw Megan Rubelke pitching for the Polars, gives up the single to left field. Left fielder misses the cutoff, and ball rolls to the fence. Runner at first able to get to second. Next batter, single to center. Center fielder comes up gunning and will keep that winning run at third base. So winning run at third base, 1 out, deep drive into the outfield. Looks like Woodbury's going to win it with the walk-off sacrifice fly. But you see both teams celebrating there, a little bit of confusion. What you didn't see off camera is one of the Woodbury runners strayed a little too far off second base, wasn't able to get back to second and was doubled off. So instead of the game-winning run for Woodbury, it turns into a double play for North St. Paul, and we keep on playing. And North St. Paul getting it going here, 10th inning, trying to get in that go-ahead run as Crotty singles, but Kelly McCain thrown out at home. And nice tag applied by Woodbury catcher. So Woodbury in their 10th, bloops a single to the left. Cameron Veenbos taking a little too wide of a turn, but she's able to scramble back to safety. Next batter gets one over the left fielder's head. That goes under the fence. Rule there is a ground rule double. Fortunate for the Polars because that Woodbury runner could have had a chance to score. Instead, they had to stop at third. They get another out, and with 2 outs, get the third as a long fly ball. So a little bit of luck for the Polars as they get some help from the fence. Unable to score in the top of the 11th. Bottom of the 11th, Eleanor Blanchfield gets the infield base hit. Next batter bunts. Pitcher thought about going to second, gets the out at first. Runner at second, 1 out. Tapper back to Rubelke. She'll throw to first. Runner goes to third. So with 2 outs, runner at third base. Line drive off the third baseman's glove. Shortstop unable to make the play in time. Woodbury will get the winning run as they go on to win 4-3. That one was in 11 innings. So North season not over as it's a double elimination tournament, but their journey to the state tournament made a little bit harder by that loss. And they would take on Roseville in their next game, and that was played on May the 27th. And we may have some highlights of that one also.
Yeah, we said that this is a double elimination. They're squaring off against Roseville, who won to advance. And now this last chance for both teams. Raiders at bat, runner on first. Pitcher Megan Rebelke catches the ball and throws to first to complete the double play. Kelly Stomniak fields a grounder at second and gets the out to end the inning. And then Stepniak getting it done on the offense. Up at bat for the Polars, cranks to the right field, and then just slides into second for the double. Next batter up for the Polars, pops it, but luckily for Roseville, Sherman will be there, and she catches it. Stopniak will take up at third, however, won't matter as the Polars can't bring her home for the score, still scoreless. After that, Kayla Crompton gets the ball at third base. It shows off her cannon, gets the ball and gets the out. Another ball comes her way, but she once again gets the out. Polars up at bat. Madison Del Castillo tips the ball. It goes off the catcher's glove, but the runner is able to try and take her base as she races there, but the ref says she is out, but first base coach believed that there was a tie and the runner should be safe. I don't know how, but eventually the ref overturns his call and Destel is on first. Lily Langevin hits the ball towards shortstop, but Hannah Schmidt can't catch the ball, and Del Castillo is on third. After that, Stombiak hits a grounder towards third, but the Raiders are prepared and forces Del Castillo to go back. At second, if they could have gotten that out, they're a little more aggressive, but the Polars would finally get the score. You see Del Castillo goes in, and Langevin will come in, and the Polars end the 4th inning with a 2-0 lead. And there we saw third baseman Hannah Toll get kind of smacked in the face there from the ball, but she's all right due to wearing a face mask. And then moving on to the top of the 5th, Bosch smacks the ball to the outfield, and now it's Brittany Bosch's turn. She hits to the outfield as well, and now there are runners on first and second. Akira Notch hits the ball to right field and scores one runner to cut the lead 2-1. However, it was all North from here as they would tally 10 runs to make the final score 10-4. And so that means that they're going to have to face Woodbury again in the winner's bracket. They move back up to the winner's bracket, but Woodbury had a little too much offense in this one as they would win 9-1, and Woodbury would be your 4-3A section representative on into the state tournament.
It was unfortunate that North St. Paul wasn't able to make this state tournament. Quite a run and quite a season for them overall.
I mean, as we said before, there's no shame in your regular season winning your conference. I mean, they put up a heck of a fight there in their section final. It just wasn't happening. Still a major accomplishment to win your conference tournament.
That's right, definitely Metro East Conference champion. So we're going to take a short break, but when we get back, we'll tell you how well the White Bear Lake boys lacrosse team did on their state tournament run. And if you're a fan, you may not want to miss this.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Perhaps you missed some of our games or you may want to rewatch your favorite Fab 5 Schools victory. We just want to take the time to remind you that we post all of our broadcasts right on our Facebook page, and this includes old episodes of Sports Path. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to catch the latest and greatest on your Fab 5 schools. Welcome back for the final time. This part of the Metro has seen some impressive lacrosse as that goes for both boys and girls.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, 3 of our Fab 5 schools won their respective conferences in lacrosse. Hill Murray won the girls Metro East, Mahtomedi won the boys Metro East, and White Bear Lake, of course, won the boys Suburban East. And so now let's take a look at some of those section brackets.
Starting off first with girls section 4, and we see Hill Murray taking on Tartan. They would win 14-12, and Mahtomedi taking East Ridge, but they would lose 15-6. And then let's go over to the next round where Hill Murray would lose to Stillwater 17-5, and since that's where the Fab 5 schools ended, this is where we're going to stop showing you.
And we'll jump over to Section 5, where we had White Bear Lake representing our Fab 5. They got the 5 seed and drew 4 seed Mounds View, losing to them by 1 goal. So nice job by that seeding committee. Unfortunately, White Bear Lake's season was over after that loss, and so was it for our Fab 5 schools in lacrosse.
So none of the Fab 5 teams will represent the girls in the state tournament, but there's still hope for the boys.
That's right. Both the Zephyrs of Mahtomedi and the Bears of White Bear Lake had tremendous regular seasons, but would that translate to postseason success? Let's see.
And then we take a look at the Section 4 boys lacrosse, where Mahtomedi beats Hill Murray 20-4, and then North would lose to East Ridge 20-0, and Tartan would beat Woodbury 12-10. Moving on to the next round, where Tartan loses to East Ridge 7-5, and then Mahtomedi beats Stillwater 7-2. And then Mahtomedi beating East Ridge 10-7, and Mahtomedi will be your Section 4 boys lacrosse representative in the state tournament.
And now to Section 5, where White Bear Lake, you see that got that #1 seed, #3 team in the state, easily getting by Irondale in that first round. Then they took on Mounds View in round #2 and got by them 15-6. And as you see, they were going to take on Osseo in the Section 5 championship, and an easy victory for them, 21-4. So White Bear Lake continues their great season, and they will march on to the state tournament.
And then here we are at the state tournament bracket where Maunamita High lose to Bloomington Jefferson 15-10. But White Bear having an impressive showing, winning 19-2 over Maple Grove. And then they would play Eden Prairie as they beat Blaine 14-1. Moving on to the next round, White Bear Lake takes on Eden Prairie and they would win 14-13 in OT. And now let's check out some of those highlights.
That's right, we have highlights of that. As you see, White Bear Lake not too used to playing from behind or in close games. Saw captain shaking hands there, and there's the captain, J.D. Spielman, getting it started for Eden Prairie. Gets the bounce shot to go and give the Eagles the early 1-0 lead. A little bit later, he'll give them a 2-0 lead with his second bounce shot and second goal of the game. White Bear Lake would get on the board moments later as Ethan Peterson fires in a nice shot from outside. And Jake Meyer on the ensuing draw will race all the way down the field and bounce it past the White Bear Lake goalie. Eden Prairie now leading 3-1. But with a minute to go, with a minute to go in the opening quarter, Spielman and the Eagles are going to add to their lead as he races behind the net, finds teammate Ben Baker, who throws it into the back of the goal and will give Eden Prairie that 4-1 lead at the end of one. Starting out in the second, Captain Sean Patterson gets a nifty goal to make it 5-1, and J.D. Spielman adds yet another as it is 6-1. Things really not looking good for the Bears. But the Bears are resilient, and they will get their second right there. It's a nice shot from the defenseman. And then just about 20 seconds later, Shane Olson runs in on net, and he'll go low, and he'll get that one to go. 6-3. And Bears get another goal here, not too much longer, as Connor Denhart, one of the leaders of this Bear squad, tough in front of net, and he will slam it home, getting the nice pass from Hunter Peters. 6-4 now the score. Ethan Peterson, great job winning that draw. He'll be tough with it, and eventually he'll find teammate Matt Swanson, who shows a little tough love to the back of the net, slamming it home. Fourth unanswered for White Bear Lake, 6-5. They'll get their fifth unanswered and tie it up right there. Denhart's second of the game. So 6-6, White Bear Lake had come storming all the way back. But Eden Prairie will retake the lead and make it 7-6. Both teams would add another goal before halftime. This one would be 8-7. We're going to skip that second half because this one went into overtime. That's right, fans on their feet because it's tied at 13 going into the bonus period. And here's the start of that bonus period. Peterson wins the draw, gets the foul, and that will help White Bear Lake with a little bit of momentum. 52 seconds in, Shane Olson racing to the middle of the field from the top of the arc, and he will put it in the back of the net. Sudden death overtime. White Bear Lake wins this one 14-13, and they will see themselves into the state championship with that win.
And they face off Bloomington Jefferson. White Bear winning 12-8, and they'll be your state boys lacrosse championship. But let's see how they did it. After winning their semifinal against number 2 seed Eden Prairie, White Bear Lake will have to take on number 1 seed Bloomington Jefferson, who comes into this championship matchup with 0 losses on the season. The Bears made the trip all the way to Minnetonka for this matchup. And at the opening face, you can see Jefferson's student section. The Jaguars control the ball after the face-off. White Bear already coming out strong with Jonathan Arco checking Justin Higgins, not being intimidated with their number 1 seed. Bears on the attack. Matt Swanson gets the ball, works it in the defense, shoots it, gets the game's first goal. Still in the first quarter, Connor Denhart gets the pass, quickly puts up the shot, and the Bears lead 2-0. And now are they getting excited? They're not intimidated. Even the Orange Faithful getting excited after the small lead. And then Shane Olson with the Bears possession, streaks in the middle of the field, fires away, and the number 3 seed has their number 3 goal of the game. But Jefferson would come right back. Aaron Graff shows off his nifty move, slings it in, and gets their first goal. And then Graff once again with the ball, runs behind the net, muscles inside, cuts the Bears lead to 1, but the Bears would answer right back. Ethan Peterson running straight towards the Jefferson goal. Passes it to Joey Goodrow, who passes it to Hunter Peters, and he finishes the play and extends the Bears lead back to 2. But the Bears continue to add more goals, having a 6-2 advantage heading into the second quarter. And from there, Goodrow gives it to Peterson. He fires a shot from way outside to score the only goal in the second, and the Bears have a 7-2 lead at the half. And picking up things in the fourth with the score is 11-6. The Bears bleeding the clock on their possession. As you see, they're just going back and forth, and Olsen finally has the ball, and he'll find Denhart in the middle of the field. He scores the Bears' 12th goal. But man, oh man, the Jaguars weren't done yet. And here, Graff will eventually get the ball behind the goal, gives it to Jay Johnson, and he'll get it in the back of the net. Now the Jaguars are down by 5. Graff passes it to Jody Eggleton and gets the goal, making the score 12-8 with under a minute left to play. The White Bears student section, though, they're sensing a victory. They're feeling it. The team's feeling it. Denhart runs out the clock, and the White Bear Lake boys are your 2015 Boys Lacrosse Championship. First time in school history winning 12-8. And the celebration was on, and they want to get into that dog pile. Everyone just trying to scramble in to get there. So congratulations to their team. As you see, White Bear Lake are your 2015 State Boys Lacrosse Championship, and there is a picture of the hardware.
You gotta love that. Congrats to that team. Not often an underdog. Nice job bringing home the hardware.
You know, as a 3 seed, they had to beat the 2 and the 1 seed. Good win by them.
Yeah, definitely nice job by a team who wasn't used to playing a whole lot of close games, as they ran through the Suburban East Conference pretty well, and even saw in the postseason winning quite a few lopsided games.
You know, that was the thing. I mean, in that semifinal against Eden Prairie, they were probably not used to like being down, but they found a way. They were resilient and came back. And you know what? Honestly, in that championship round, they smacked Bloomington Jefferson in the mouth, and Jefferson was unable to recover.
Yeah, you got to love having that momentum after that semifinal win. Also want to thank you, Michael, for taking those highlights, shooting those highlights. Couldn't have had those highlights for you on the show without them, so appreciate it, buddy.
For sure.
And we also want to thank you all for watching Sports Path, and be sure to catch us next year, as this was our final episode at this desk and in the broadcast booth. I've had a lot of fun. Thanks for being my partner, Michael. And we're going to have all your Fab 5 school information for you next year.
Before we call it an end on this sports season, we have a mashup of highlights we want to show you before it's officially over. We hope you enjoy it.
Wilson looking to make a move, gets into the paint, and he'll get the floater to go. Wilson under the basket, somehow gets up and under and makes the bucket.